Hello, sorry guys, the network got disconnected. Okay, so we are back again. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so today is your 11th class, right? So I'll make it 11 here, okay? Okay, fine. Let's see what's there for today. Okay, so basically speaking, last up till now, right? Whatever you have learned so far, so is all like the basic HTML tags. So the basic HTML tags is for you to build the web pages. Okay, the basic HTML elements. Now from today's class, so we'll be going little one step up. Okay, one step, we'll just climb little bit up and see like what's there for today. Okay, yes. Okay, so we will see like we'll see whatever we have learned so far in the first week and whatever we learned in the second week, and later yesterday's revision, we'll do the yesterday's revision. Okay, and then comes our HTML form elements. Okay, so let's see like what's there, what we learned for first week. Okay, you see here, I'll minimize these parts. Okay, so this is the overall summary of what we learned in the first week. So this screenshot and next screenshot will help you, like whatever tags you have learned, and then for your immediate reference. So if you want to build anything, right, you just have to go to the slide and see what tag is that, and then you can practice that code from here. Okay, so what we are going to do here is, so in the first week we did like we learned about the code editors. So how many code editors are there, and the browser is used to execute the programs, right? And we saw like web page, relation between web page and website, and whatever we are building, right, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, so the relation between all these three, and getting into the programming. So from HTML element, right, so we started like the programming. So what is an HTML element, what is a HTML attributes? So attributes are going to change the characteristics of this element. Okay, and we took up yeah, it's not 4 assignments, I think we took around 11 I think, yeah. So because every day we are having already, right? So today is your 11th lesson, so I'll just make it as so 5 days, 5 weekdays, 5 weekdays in the second week. And then we took 2 tests, right? We have taken 2 tests. Oh, sorry, yeah, this is about the first week, right? Sorry, my mistake, it's my mistake. So we are talking about the first week summary. So first week summary, we took 4 assignments and 1 test.
No,
and
it's 5 assignments.
No, this is in the first week.
I know, let's do 5 assignments. Oh wait, because on the 1st of December we don't have class.
Yeah, correct. So we because 1st of December was started on Tuesday, I think so. So that's why we missed out one assignment there. So anyways, okay. So this is a summary part for your understanding. Okay, what you have learned so far, and we learned doc type, HTML, head, title, and body. And inside the body, the whatever you write, it's all the display area. Okay, display content. So any display content, you have to write it in the body tag only. Okay, so I saw some of you are writing body tag inside the header tag, which is wrong. You should not do that. So body tag should be in parallel to header tag. Okay, so inside body you write the heading tags. You'll be writing the heading tags h1 to h6, and then we have a comment tag also, right? So after this, we can have a paragraph tag. We learned about the paragraph tag, and break tag. We learned about, you know, horizontal rule, bold, image, marquee, and then some attributes we learned. So this slide we already, you know, gone through. So let's see the second slide. Okay, second slide, you know, we learned about the paths. So relative path and absolute path, right? And then we install the nginx server. I see most of you have already installed nginx server, right? So started using nginx server, and then, you know, the name forget. Okay, the you all have already started using the local website way of accessing the pages, right?
I still
That's
can't use nginx server.
yes, Vaibhav?
I'm still unable to use nginx server.
Okay, so if you have any queries, right? Maybe can we connect after the class so that I know I'll help you out to set it up.
Even me, I also can't deploy my code.
Yes, that's what, you know, I wanted to, you know, I have been saying it from past few days. Like, you know, if you are facing any issue, you just let me know. Okay, Saturday, Sunday was your trying time, so you can try multiple ways of, you know, getting the things done. If you're not able to get it right, you can just, you know, ping me. I'll help you out. Okay. So after the class, just ping me. I'll set it up for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Why don't we just stay on this Zoom link, then you can help.
what's that, Vaibhav?
We just stay on this Zoom link, then you can help us out.
Yeah. Sure. We'll do that. Okay. So, and then, you know, we did 5 assignments, and then we did 1 test also in this week, right? So the second week. Okay. And second week, you know, there was some quite interesting tags also, right? Like audio and video. We learned about audio and video displaying part, and then we learned the strong, anchor tag, italic, em, and then underline, strike through text, and superscript and subscript. And then to restore the format, like, you know, you want to preserve the format of the content, you write it in the file, you can use the preserve tag. And to highlight any text, you can use mark tag. Okay. And the layout part, like, you know, the layout part comes here. So we learned about the table tags. So table tags is like, you know, it gives you the grid level of design. Okay, grid kind of design. So you can use t head, t body, t foot inside the head, you know, table tag. And then this follows, like, you know, trth will be only in the head part. You see, some of you have written th in t body, which is wrong. So th must always come for t head only. Okay, it's like t head is like a header, and then td will come for both t body and td. Okay, sorry, t foot, t body and t foot. So the td element, table data, td is nothing but table data. Okay, it appears for both. And one more thing, you know, if you see any html tag, you'll find one common attribute. Can say anyone?
Lesser than symbol and greater than symbol.
No, attribute. I said about the attribute, common attribute for all the HTML.
All the ID.
Div.
ID is the right one. Aditya, good, very good, Aditya. So this is a question only
No,
Aditya.
it was me.
Shiveshi answered it, not me.
Oh, okay. Should I say good? ID. No, in the exam you only answered, right? You only answered it correctly. I remember it. So most of you have done wrong in the test actually. But ID is the attribute, and there is one more attribute, style. Style attribute will appear for most of the HTML elements. Okay, most of the HTML. I cannot say all the elements, most of the HTML, ID and style. So these two appears common for all the HTML elements. Just remember this, okay? Now let's see. Now let's get into the next slide, okay? Here comes the revision part. So what we learned so far and all. We'll see like, you know, we'll ask one by one. Okay, first one is for Advait.
Dash tag is used for displaying bullet points in HTML page. Unordered list and unordered list.
Okay, good. Right, Advait. Very good. So next one I give it to Shuresi.
Uh,
Second one.
Wait, what is the question asking?
Okay, we are
You mean you want the
yeah, you read out the second one and say the answer. You can see my
dash is
screen,
the
right?
yes.
Okay.
Dash is the representation of an ordered list.
How do you
Lesser
represent?
than
Okay.
lesser than symbol
Hmm.
ordered
Okay.
OD
No, you
greater
see
than
here,
symbol.
I'll give you a shortcut method. So what is the first letter of ordered? O, right? And what is the first letter
O
of list?
OL
L. OL. So the tag starts
L
with less than symbol, O and L and greater than symbol. Okay,
greater than symbol.
fine. So
Okay.
the third one, I'll pass it to Ilabharti.
Dash is the representation of the description list. Smaller than symbol,
Okay,
DL, greater than symbol.
perfect. Very good. And next one goes to Pradyumna.
Yes, sir. Dash is the representation of the list item of ordered list and unordered list. Smaller than symbol, Li and greater than symbol.
Perfect. So for ordered list and unordered list, we'll use Li tag, okay, to add an element, okay, to add an item to the list. We'll just use the Li tag, okay. And the next one goes to Sean.
Dash is the ability used to specify the Roman numbers for ordered list. Type
Right, perfect. Very good, Sean. Now, next one, I'll give it to Dhanush. Yes, Dhanush.
Open tag UL
Okay,
close tag.
read out the question first.
Dash is the attribute for unordered list.
No, dash or allowed values. So what are allowed values for the attribute of the ordered list? So what is the ordered list attribute? Type is the attribute, right?
Yeah.
So for the type attribute, what are the values, allowed values? Yesterday we learned about this, right? Oh yeah, I think you may have missed out. So let me ask Vaibhav. Vaibhav, the same question to you.
Yes. Allowed values like numbers and letters.
Okay,
No,
can you give me the
sorry.
value? Can you give me the value? What value? We can specify it in the type attribute.
One. I forgot.
Okay, I'll
Can I
pass it.
say?
Oh, sir, can I say?
Okay, 1 second. I'll pass it to Rohit.
The A1, the Roman numerals and I.
Correct. So it takes, for 5 values: small I, caps I, and small a and capital A, and number 1. Okay, the numeric 1. So numeric 1 for numbers displaying like 1, 2, 3, 4. The bullet points will be displayed with 1, 2, 3, 4 order. Suppose if you specify small a, it will start with A, B, C, D in smaller case. If you specify capital A, capital A, capital B, capital C, like that it goes on. And then I, small I is for Roman numbers, capital I is for Roman numbers also in caps. Fine. So next goes to Aditya. Dash and dash can be used as the attributes of the ordered list.
Style and type.
Style and type. Perfect. Very good. Okay, the next one goes to Vaibhav again. Vaibhav or Shurisi? Yeah.
The values of
Accuracy.
the style attributes are called as.
So what do you call the values that you specify in the style attribute?
You mean like we put color is equals to
Right. You specify those things, right? What do you call it?
CSS element?
No? Anyone? Any of you?
Properties.
Perfect. Style properties is the right answer. Good, Shan. So the point here is like, the values of the style attribute. We have multiple style properties, right? So for all those properties, in the style attribute, we call it as style properties. Okay. Yeah. And next one, Devanshi, can you try next one? Hello, Devanshi, can you try next one?
Dash is the representation of the values of the style attributes.
So how it's like, the syntax. Okay, fine. I'll ask again, Ilvarthi. Ilvarthi, can you tell me, read out the last two questions?
I don't know the answer.
Okay, read out the question.
Dash is the representation
No.
of
Not that one. Just above that. How many values?
how many values does the style attribute can take.
Okay. How many values does it take? How many properties? The values means the properties, style properties. How many style properties can you give to a style attribute?
5.
Yeah, actually, no, there is no limit actually. So you can keep on adding the styles. Keep on adding the styles by semicolon. Okay. So whatever style the element can take, so those will be applied. Okay. Just use what is the separator? Separator used to,
Semicolon.
Perfect. So I'll ask Advai to answer the last one.
Dash is the representation of the values of the style attributes.
So how do you represent the style?
By colons.
Okay, can you name it? You just take the left part as name and the right part as value. So how will you specify it?
We would write like style equal to.
Okay, style
then the double quotes.
Style is equal to within the double quotes.
Then we would write a name equal to
colon. It's a colon. Name colon. The standards here is just follow one space here. That would look good actually. Okay. No need to give space also, but if you want to have a good visibility, right? I actually give one space here, and then
semicolon,
and then give a space and then start one more property. Okay, like this. Name 1 colon value 2 and then semicolon. So like this, it goes on. Name 2. So name. Oh yeah, here name value 1, right? Name 2 colon value 2 and then semicolon. So it goes on like this. So you understand this representation. This is very important. Okay. So for most of the elements, the style attribute is valid, right? So you have to follow this styling. Okay, for any element that you want to apply styles. Okay. Now let's see what's there for next. Okay. So till now we have learned about the tags only, normal tags, like to display the text, to display an image, something like that, right? So like, you know, change the style, and then make use of the heading tags, bullet points, like that. So they are all like, you know, just a static one, like, you know, the content that is displayed, right? So to format those content, all those tags would be used in the, you can take a reference from slide 1 and slide 2. Okay, slide 1 and slide 2 gives the full reference. Now let's get into the forms. What do you mean by a form? Suppose, assume that, you know, any one of you have started a company. Okay, started a company, or started a shop, or started a designing firm, or, you know, any company. Okay, so now you want to understand your customers. What will you do?
Survey.
You already have a website. Okay, so usually what you do, you give a form. So you show a form on the website, you ask your customer details, right? Before registration, what you all did, you all filled a form, right, for this course. So to capture user information, we need HTML forms. The best example, let's see here. The best example, we'll go here. Now let's try. So we go to iPassmo.com, right? So I'm going to click on sign in. So what I'm doing, see, from my side, I'm asking my customer details. You're all my customers, right? So I'm asking your all details to enter in this form, so that I'll get your information, and then I'll check from my side whether your details are valid or not. Correct, right? So this is a form. This is a login form. We call it as a login form. Okay. This is a very simple and straightforward small example only. Okay, very small example. So the forms can be, you know, as big as, you know, 2 to 5 to 6 pages, different pages. Like when there are big companies, and then, you know, the trading companies, so they want to get lots and lots of information. So if you want to capture that kind of information, you need to extensively divide the form. So that's why, you know, what happens is, if there are 1,000 fields to be entered, so those 1,000 fields, what usually, you know, the company side will do is, they will divide it into multiple pages, 5 pages. Okay, each page will have certain number of form fields. Okay, that's how, you know, they subdivide, and then every page they will give a save button, so that the details entered by the user cannot be missed out. Fine. So let's see about, you know, this is a small, very small example. So let's see in the slide what exactly, and then how exactly we can build this kind of components, input components. Let's go here. Yeah, let's read out some slides, some of the points here. The HTML form is used to capture the user input. Okay, suppose you are hosting a website and you want to understand your customers. So what you have to do?
You need to use HTML forms.
Perfect. Remember this, okay? If you use HTML forms, then you can capture the data entered by your customers. Okay, fine. It provides lots and lots of options, the HTML forms. Let's see what are those, okay? The HTML forms make use of events and attributes. Okay, when I talk about events, right? Remember, let's get back to this screen. Okay, here, what is this? Can anybody say what is this?
Login button.
Login.
Button. So I think most of you know button. It's like a button, right? So pressing button. So when you click on this, what I use the term click, right? When you click or press, that is an event. Certain action happening on any HTML element, right? That is called event. Okay, remember this. Means I'm adding some details here, and then I want to submit the details. So this is an action actually, whenever I want to submit a details, this is an action, on click action. Sorry, no, I wrongly said the word event. It is an event, HTML event. So any action performed is called an event. So that's what I'm trying to say here. The HTML forms make use of events and attributes. Some of the attributes are there, so I'm going to explain what are the attributes. Now, form tag is the container for all the user input elements. So form tag does not do much, many things, but it actually holds the user details and where to send these details. So that information the form will hold. Okay, how to send. So this is very important tag. Okay, form tag is very important in case of registrations or capturing the data.
Does form tag send how or where the information goes?
Right, you are right, perfectly right. That's what it says. I'll tell you what attributes are there to help that. Okay, I have listed down in the below point. Let's read out this, the fourth point. Form tag contains some of the below elements to capture user input. Within the form tag, I clicked on this. So within the form tag, we can use multiple tags, multiple HTML tags like this, label tag, input tag, select tag, buttons. So there are many actually. There are many. I'll be explaining it in the next slide. So all these input elements, right? We call this user is entering the data in using these tags, right? So we call these as HTML input elements. Okay. So here what will happen is the form tag will contain all these elements. Okay. Next, what are the attributes? So the form tag contains the attributes like action. Action is nothing but where do you want to send all these details. So you'll specify the URL in action. Okay. So when you specify the URL, all the data will go to that URL. Okay. Next comes the method. Method is one more attribute which says whether it is a get method, means what type of request is that. Whether you are trying to update the database, whether you are going to just retrieve the details from the data, from the backend. So those kind of keywords you will specify it in the method, like get, post, and then delete, update. There are many 6 to 7 are there.
So the login button was made by method.
No, login is done using the input. I will tell you all those things. Okay. Now you just understand the attributes first. Okay. What type of attributes it allows. So just remember these names. So I'll when we start writing the code, you will understand better actually. What method is doing, what action is doing, what name is doing. Okay. Just remember these types: action, method, name, autocomplete, encode type, and target. Some are some of the attributes. Fine. So target again, if you want to submit the details and those details to appear in the next tab, right? You can make use of the target attribute. Okay, similar, same like anchor tag. Encode type is when you are sending the data in the binary form, you upload a document. When you are uploading a document, right, you can upload a document also from the forms, using the forms, right? So when you have that upload feature on your form, you have to make use of encoding type. So it says what type of content you are sending, how you want to send it. Okay. So these are all some of the attributes we'll see in detail when we start writing the code. Okay. Now, yeah, first let's try to write a sample form tag, how it looks. Okay. Then that makes you, gives you some understanding of how the form tag looks like. Okay, let's start class 11. So I'm going to create class 11.html. And inside this, what I need to do first? Sai, what I need to do?
You need to write doc type HTML and the basic structure for writing.
Yeah, we already crossed one by one, right? So now I'll expect you to say like, complete structure. I want a structure, right? So HTML structure. So what I do, I copy paste everything. I want to have a basic template structure, right? So basic template structure of HTML, how I get? Remove this part. Gone. So now this is my HTML template structure. Okay, I have to have the basic template structure. So the template structure will have doc type, HTML head. These are all common, every time I need not type. You already know these things, right? So that's why, the set of lines I just copy paste from previous classes, and then I start filling the content in the body content. Okay, now let's see here. So here what we are learning forms, HTML forms. Okay, here, so this is the demo of a form tag, right? Demo of form tag. So how the form tag looks like? Okay, here I need to give h3 and I give an underline tag. Okay, h3 done. U also done. h3 also done. And here I'm giving the title actually. HTML form. Okay. Now here I'm going to use the normal way, like, I'm going to use the paragraph tag so that it comes in the next line. And what happens here? We are writing the form tag, right? So I'm going to use small case, all in small case. See, as soon as you type, the editor will provide you with the form tag already. So you just write this form tag, close it, starting tag and ending tag. Okay, as soon as you type the starting tag, you write the ending tag also. And yeah, there is one more common attribute that appears for all the elements. So what are the two common attributes that appear for all the elements?
Style.
Style and ID, right?
The ID.
Style and ID.
So add one more to it, which is name. Okay, you can also use name also, name to that element. So in general, I prefer only ID. Okay, so what kind of ID is this? You have to specify it here. Okay, user registration form, something like this. I just an ID. Okay, so for ID I actually prefer without spaces. Okay, try to use without spaces for ID so that you can get the whole content using this unique name. Okay, and then here comes action. Action is nothing but where you want to send. Class 12 dot.
But it should be an event, right?
No, event comes for the HTML input elements. Okay, so for the form tag we have event, like, when you are submitting a form, right? So you can use on load, as soon as the form gets loaded, what you want to do. So let's try, okay, I don't want to confuse you now. The event comes like this, when you are submitting a form, right? On submitting, what you want to do, so you can add it here. Okay, on submit. So this is like, event, submit event. Okay, so for now you just ignore this part. We'll make use of
All the forms have this button submit, right? So after we submit, for example, if you are creating the form, then where will the data go to?
Yeah, that data will go to this new page that you have written in the action.
Or you don't have class of HTML.
Yeah, class12.html is not there. So I'm just giving a dummy URL
Okay.
like this. Okay. So for now, when you that's why I started explaining about the NGINX part. So once you have configured, right, so you can send the details to other page, and from there you can access. So for now, you can just ignore this part. We will learn only the designing part here. Okay. So finally, we will see how to submit and where the details will come and how it will be received and all. So now we are designing only. Okay. Now, so what are the other attributes? Yeah, name also is the name and method. Name, anyways, I'm using the ID, so I don't need name here. Method. Okay. Let's see the method. Action is there, and there is a method. So the method can take like this, get and post. Get is like, you are getting the details, right? So make use of get. And if you are posting the details, like, submitting the details to the server, then you can make use of post like this. So I'll give you the difference of, how the get will be there, and then how the post will look like. So for now, you just see, this is the structure. Okay. This is the structure of form. So it is like a container element. Okay. Container element. So all the input tags will be inside this form tag only. So if they are outside, so you cannot control those. So they are working independently. So if the whole things are inside the form, same like, body. So whatever elements that you display in the body tag, right? So the body will take care. So similarly, whatever elements you write in the form tag, so the form will take care of those elements. Okay, fine. Now let's see. So we understood up to the form. Now let's see, like, what's the content that it can hold. Yes, you see here label, and then label is like, the text for any input field. So I'll show you how it looks like. And input. So this input has got long list actually. So we can try one by one actually by giving the values, but the syntax for all would be somewhat similar. Okay, you no need to worry about the things. The only value you need to change, the type value you need to change, then it looks differently. So I'll explain it in the code, then you'll easily understand. Now this form tag we have used, right? Let's see how it looks in the browser. Okay, let's go back to the NGINX server. I have started my server now. Let me go back here, and then what was the port we configured?
1000.
Yeah, 1000, right? All lessons. Yes, you see here lesson 11 is missed out, so I'll add lesson 11 for all references. Okay, all lessons here. I'll go down here, and then so I'm going to give 11 here. Okay, fine. So I'm going to refresh this. Lesson 11 will be there. I'm going to click on this. It opens up, and then it just says HTML form. So we don't have any elements to display here. So let's add some elements, okay, to display the content. So class11.html, I'm going to talk about the labels now, right? So let's write a comment here, okay? So what are we learning? This is demo of label tag, okay? So we are learning the demo of label tag, how it looks. The label tag starts with label, okay? And then it takes a value FOR, for, okay? So the label will take an attribute for close it, the label tag has ended, right? And here we will give input, okay? Input type, I don't specify anything in the type, I'll just close it, okay? So I'm just, this is the structure here. You have to remember this part. So till now, whatever you have used, it's just, you know, plain HTML elements. Now, if you know this, you know most of the HTML input elements. Remember this. You learn this input type is equal to double quotes. You know most of the elements. Now this is the label. So let's see, like, you know, whatever name you give for ID, right? So in the input, ID is equal to, within double quotes, if I specify username, I want to capture the username. So user full name, or let's make a first name. Okay, I want to capture first name for the user. This should be the value of for attribute. Okay, for attribute, and ID should be same. I will show you what difference it will make, okay, when you create like this. So go here, give an value of what is the first input element. Text is there, right? So we'll try text. Okay, text is a common, so I'll just mention text. Okay, fine, you understood this part, right? So we created a label, and inside the label we have the for attribute, and for attribute will take the value of the ID of the input element. So ID we have created as first name, and first name will be the value for attribute. And what is this? This is a text box. So I want to give like this and save it, and let's see in the browser. Okay,
I didn't understand why there are two first names.
Same.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. What happens is, okay, you don't want, so I'll just remove this part. Now you see, now I'm giving only the text box. I'm displaying the text box here. So here what I do is text box, demo of text box. Let's try this. So if you want to display a text box, you have to make use of input tag like this. Okay, so input tag, and then give some name, unique name. So what text box is this? This text box is for capturing first name, right? Now let's save this part. Let's save this part, go back to the browser and refresh this. Okay, so it is how the text box is displayed. So you have given what name to this one? What name to this text box?
First name.
First name, you know, right? So being a programmer, you know. How will your customer know? Your customer doesn't know anything, right, about this. What text box I need to enter? What is this text box for? Right? He doesn't understand, right?
So label tag will put the first name in the text box.
No, label tag will help you actually. I'll show you, like, you know. Let's write. Okay, not here. I'm going to. Yeah, that's where we make use of. Okay, here this is demo of label, right? So let's try label tag here. Label, and then you give, what is this? First name. I'm giving a first name to a label. Okay, so now let's save it and refresh the browser.
But sir, I have a question.
Okay, can you be a little bit more? Actually, no, your voice is a bit less actually.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now okay.
Yeah. My question was, like, you know, previously when you wrote the ID for both the label tag and the input tag. So is it necessary to give the ID for the label tag? Because you didn't now.
Yeah, I did not give ID for the label tag. I gave for attribute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's what, you know, I'm going to explain it today now. Now. Okay, so now you understood what is the use of label, right? Now your end customer will understand what this text box is for. So what will he enter now?
His name.
Yeah, first name, his name, because you already mentioned the value of the label actually. You know, this text box is for first name. Now can you click on this first name? See, I'm clicking on this first name. Anything happening? Nothing happening, right? So here comes the fur attribute. I'm going to add fur is equal to double quotes. So I'm going to give this label, I'm tying up with the first name only. Okay, I'm just copy pasting it here. Save this part and I'm going to refresh this now. So I'm going to click on the first name now. What happened?
The text box is showing the mouse cursor.
So in earlier case, it did not happen, right?
No.
Yeah, because now we tied up this label with this text box.
They both have the same ID. Therefore, they are interconnected.
No, it's not ID actually. It's like, this label is for what? So this label is for first name. So first name will be searched inside this document. Where is the ID? What is the value of this ID?
So it specifies what the label is for.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So this label is for this text box only. Okay, because why this text box only? Suppose if I have one more text box, okay, one more text box, and then I mention it as last name like this. So let's go here and see. I'm going to refresh this page. I'll be getting two text boxes. Now I click on the first name. So where did it go? It went to the first name. Suppose if I give, the last name in the fur value. Let's see here.
So you need to write two label tags, right?
Yeah, that's also one of the way. I'm just showing you the difference between why you need fur attribute. So I'm going to click on the first name now. Now which one is focused?
Second block.
The last text box.
Because the label is tied with the last name input element. So as soon as you click on this one, so the particular element will be focused, will get a focus. So that's why we make use of this. So as you know,
is it possible to have the text last name in the text box initially? Like, some forms actually have that.
Okay, the display, right?
Yeah, inside the text box.
Okay, so that inside the display, text box, right? So you have multiple ways of doing that. So
in some forms, when we write the first name and press enter, it directly goes to the second text box.
Okay, that's like event handling. That part comes as part of the event handling. Let me explain one by one. Okay, so you'll get now. See, I'm seeing you all are getting a lot of doubts and then a lot of questions. That's very good actually. Because I can see you are all paying attention to it. Now let's see. One by one, I'm going to explain so that it will clear all your questions. Now let's try to put first name for the first label. Okay, I'm going to give first name for the first label, and then I'm going to delete this part and then do it again. So I'm going to give one more. Okay, I'm going to give one more label. Okay, I'm going to give one more label.
You can use break tag also, right?
Yeah, we will use. This is last name. Okay, first we have to see how it looks first. After that we have to change it. Okay, so now I give last name. So now first name is tied to first name element, second and last name tied to last name. Okay, this label is tied to this label is tied to this. Okay, now let's see on the page how it looks. So it looks like this now. First name left side, right name right side.
It's in a single line.
Single line. So if you want, that's where comes the design part. So whatever previously you learned, right, all the tags, those tags you have to make use in combination of the input elements so that you'll have a good design. Okay, so that's all. I'll leave it to you how you want it to display and all. You wanted to add BR tag, yes, I leave it to you. You can design your forms in whatever way you want. Okay, so here one BR is not sufficient. You can make use of two BRs. Okay, try to use the tags that you have learned so far, and you see the alignment is not proper here, right? The first text box is here and then second text box more to the left side. So here comes the creative part. Some of you, Advay suggested to use BR tag, and some may suggest, sir, why we want this? Can we use the table tags inside? Because it gives with, table structure, right? Yes, that's also possible, like this, you see. So here you saw, right, how it is looking. Okay, sorry, yeah, here. Here, this is one. I'll show you the difference, okay? I'll show you the difference also, so that you'll get some idea of how to. Okay, here I'm going to build another one. So here I'm going to remove the BR tags. Okay, here I'm going to add one more HR. Okay, and then let's write table tags here. Okay, I'm going to delete this one later, so I'm just showing it for your understanding only. So table, as soon as I write the starting tag, I need to write the ending tag. Okay, I wrote the ending tag, and then third comes the content. So I don't want header now. So what I do is I'll just make use of the body, T body only. Okay, close it, starting tag and then ending tag. It's already there, and then content I'm going to write it now. So first row, TR. I'm going to write the TR first row. I want it, I have two items, right? So I want to have 2 rows. So what I do, 2 rows and 2 columns, because first column will be the label, right? So here I mentioned TD, okay? TD, and then second TD will have the input type. I'm going to copy this part, okay? And so I'm going to copy this one in the first TD, and this one in the second TD. Okay, now I want to repeat this for last name also, right? So what I do, I copy paste, and then instead of first name, I just make use of last name, and then this one also same. Okay, now I'm just showing the designing part only here. Okay, I'm not showing the label and all, so the design part only. So now let's see how it looks, okay, how it looks on the browser. Okay, the first one is like, can you see little bit, the second text box comes in the to the left side, right? The difference, we can make it out here, this part, right? And the second first and last name appear in the same line. This is one more design. And the third one, can you see the difference here in the third one? So text boxes come in the same left indentation. You see all the text boxes will be aligned to the left. So it is up to you how you want to design your page, and this is where your creativity comes out. Okay, you understood the difference, right? That's why I gave you this part, so you can see it actually, the table cells actually have the padding, right? So that's why it gives you some space. If you want to add more characteristics, you can still add it, like cell space, cell padding. So okay, let's cell padding, you give it as 5. Let's see how it looks. So it got distracted. So what you do, sorry, yeah, ending is not there. Now you see it gives you more space here. So you have to slowly add one property by property, then your form looks good. Okay, for now what I do is, I don't want to give you this structure. I want you all to design for yourself. Think yourself, like how best you can do. Suppose some people may get idea, okay, why can't I, there is no separator between this and this, I want to have a separator. So some may think like, I will add TD and then colon here. So I want to add a colon to give a separator. Yes, that's also okay. That's design, form design. You can make use of, many ways. You see here, like this. So you got right what I'm trying to say here. So this is very important actually. So let's learn only the text box today, okay? So try to digest it, and then tomorrow we'll add more input elements to that. Now let's see here. Yeah, I actually slightly got diverted, but still it's a good information. I'm going to remove the content here.
When will we do JavaScript?
You want to see why do we use JavaScript, right?
When?
Okay, that one comes when you start learning about the buttons. I will explain that part. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. So now for now, that's the reason why I chose this topic, so that it will help you to learn these tags. Along with this is where the JavaScript part comes into picture. Okay. So in this week, I'm not going to focus more on the tags actually. That's why I gave all the input elements here. So you can try each element by yourself, so that I can focus on the content actually. What extra content that you need to get, like JavaScript part and the styling part. I'll focus from this week. Okay. So here the one more the main difference that I wanted to say here is, yeah, I'll go with some basic one and then see here. So we have this, right? So I click on this, it should go to first text box. If I click on this, it should automatically go to second text box. So I'm giving my user less work. Like he need not get confused. I'm making his work easy. So what I need to do, I just click on this, it goes here. I just got, by looking at this form, he knows, right? The user will know what he needs to enter here. So there is one more design for what Vaibhav was saying. So I don't want to display any label. So I'll just copy paste this part here again and show it to you guys. Okay, here as Vaibhav said, I don't want to use this. I don't want to use this. I want these two things only. Let's see here. So the second one, I don't have any labels, right? So here what you can do is you can have, there is one more attribute here, placeholder. Okay, so here enter your first name. Vaibhav, this is what you asked for, right? So I'll show you this part, then you'll.
So if we put placeholder, the enter your first name and last name will be inside the box.
Yes, you see here, I have added placeholder. So this looks a little bit bigger, right? So we need to have width also for this text box. So I'll just add 200 for the width. And for this also I'll add 200 as a width, okay? I'm going to save this and refresh, you see here. So now it looks like, you no need to have labels also. So no need to have labels. So the content itself says like, enter your first name. So user can directly enter. Just click on the text box and directly enter the first name and last name like this. Like this. You can enter. So this is one more design actually. So basically, right, the point here is like, whatever designs you feel to have, you can, make use of these tags, okay, according to your requirements. So that is the point. Vaibhav, you were asking me this one only, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there is one more, similar to this. I want to have a default value, like, control. Yeah, here I will add. So here I don't want to enter any placeholder here. So I think, will have value. Okay, let's have value. So value is like, Mr. I already gave Mr. So now let's save it and see how it looks. So the first text box is pre-filled with the value already. It's already having the value. You don't need to enter. Okay.
Can we have multiple options, like after you can put a slash and then Mr. or Miss or Mrs.
Yeah, that's okay. You can do any ways actually,
It can be for gender also, right? Differentiating.
What is that?
It can be for gender also, right?
Yeah. That's what, that's what I'm going to build one by one now. So gender will actually, better to have it as a radio button. Okay. So because it has only two options, either male or female, right? So for that, we just need a radio button. So that part also I'll explain tomorrow. For now, I want you to digest this part. Okay, what is label, and then what is input element. Just you just give text here. So you can replace this text using all these actually, all these values here to get respect. But I'll go through one by one, and then so that it gives you some clear picture, like from my side. So what is the right way of doing the things I would be explaining. From your side, if you want to try, you can just add those values and then try for yourself. Okay. Yeah, I'll just give this one as practice for you today, so that you'll come to know about the elements in form tag, input elements, and label. Okay. So tomorrow I will explain more in more about the other parts here, like checkbox, radio button, date field, month field, number, all these things, buttons, reset. So when I start explaining about the buttons, right, then I will explain this part also. Okay, the events, HTML events also, I'll explain that part. Yeah. So I think it's a bit heavy for today, I feel. So try to digest these points actually. The input, label, and form. So these three are important. Try to digest these three tags. Tomorrow we'll slightly move fast. Then it would be easy for you all. Okay. Yeah, that's it from my side today. So we'll continue the same class tomorrow also. Okay. Thank you very much.
Can I say to
Yes.
set up the Nginx server?
Yes, please.
Sir?
Me
also.
Okay. Okay, I'll go one by one. Okay. So let me complete Vibos first, and then others you can bring me privately. You can ping me on WhatsApp. Okay, I'll connect, and then I'll sort it out.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah.
what language do you speak?
I speak like 7 languages. I can speak 7 languages.
Mother tongue.
My mother tongue is Kannada.
Hey, namaskara, sir.
Yeah, namaskara. Yeah, good. You see, I speak, my mother tongue is Kannada. I speak Telugu, Hindi, English, Kannada, slightly Marathi, little bit of Tamil, and Japanese.
Nice.
Good. Yeah. So yeah, as a situation came, I'll teach you one new word, Japanese word. Okay. So can all repeat with me? Ohio.
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 Gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Yes. Ohio gozaimasu is good morning.
Okay.
So it is in Japanese.